Robert Crookston, Robert Jr. So Robert Young Crookston Jr. Young came from Robert's Crookston's mother's maiden name, and then he named his son Robert Young Crookston, and of course he became Jr. He's got an interesting story if you're not aware of it. He learned at a I'm going to read this. He learned at a responsibility at an early age and was hired by Moses Thatcher to watch his cattle. The ranch was located on Bear River, just west of Preston. He lived in a little log cabin all alone. One day, he found an Indian boy about his same age huddled among the cattle to keep warm. And I think he was about 12 years at this time. He had scarcely any clothes on, even though it was cold weather. He couldn't communicate well enough to explain where he came from or why he was there. Father motioned for him to come into the cabin to get warm and get something to eat. He shared what clothes he had with him and his food. They became good friends, and he stayed until the spring. He was good at catching fish from the river, and they supplemented their food with fish all winter. Father called him Indian John. Since he had no home, Father showed him where to go across the river to a toll bridge and how to get to the Washakie Indian Reservation west of Logan, and he gave his own pony to him to ride. Now, he became friends with Indian John forever. Indian John liked to take him hunting. In fact, he was the only white person who liked to take him hunting because he was very good at being quiet, and they just enjoyed themselves. But here's the rest of the story. The Bear River Massacre site near Preston, Idaho is the site of the Bear River Massacre, in which a village of Shoshone Native Americans were attacked by the California Volunteers on January 29, 1863. Estimates of Shoshone casualties are as high as 384. The incident has one of the highest recorded casualty counts of the American Indian Wars of the 19th century, but was overshadowed at the time by the events of the ongoing Civil War. The site was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1990. So John came from this place. He was 11 and a half years old. Notice it was in January, so we're talking the winter, so that's why he was cold, had very few clothes on. When the cavalry came in, they killed all men and women. They didn't leave anybody alive. And pretty sad, very sad in our history. If you go up there, they've got an overlook of the valley, and they have there's the one that's the I think the Daughters of Utah Pioneers or somebody put up a thing, but then the Indian tribe has actually put out many plaques that explain the whole series of events that happened that terrible day.